The only thing worse than a bad anime is a hyped anime that fails to meet our expectations when we watch it. So today we'll be looking at the top 10 anime of 2020 that were overhyped and did not meet our expectations. Okay, first things first. The anime on this list are based on my opinion, with my reasoning, and it's totally cool if you disagree with me. We can have our differences and live in peace, right? Secondly, all the anime on this list aren't bad. They simply just didn't meet our expectations. So without further ado, let's start the video, but first, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And in addition to that, why not press the bell icon too? It's completely free. Alright, time for the intro. Okay, the first anime on our list is Ghost in the Shell 2045. So the Ghost in the Shell franchise is one of my favorites. It has a badass waifu protagonist, interesting characters, a deep plot that provides the viewer with fresh food for thought. And seriously, I could go on forever trying to explain the beauty of this franchise. There was, however, a small problem with all its popularity, and it's that we, as viewers, went into Ghost in the Shell 2045 expecting it to be an absolute masterpiece, but it was far from it. The first thing they did wrong was using CGI. Now, I'll admit, there are anime that can make good use of CGI in a decent way, like Kengan Ashura, but Ghost in the Shell 2045 just ends up becoming an example of how wrong the use of CGI can be. As if the CGI wasn't enough, the anime also had a very shallow plot. As a viewer, I didn't get indulged in the mystery of the show when I was watching it, and this is the one thing that Ghost in the Shell is popular for. In conclusion, Ghost in the Shell 2045 was, and I'm sorry to say, an absolute flop. Pop quiz. What's the best time to make an anime about a virus pandemic? Yep, the best time to make it is during an actual pandemic. Or at least that's what the creators of the next anime on our list, GullahGeecheeFamily, thought. Now, this anime follows the story of fighters from the past who go into the future, which has been taken over by a spreading virus that turns people into monsters. Now, even people with a below average IQ, like myself, can tell if used correctly, this setup has quite some potential. There are about 1 million ways for the show to tackle deep themes of survival, develop its characters, and the interaction between them as the battle for their lives. But instead of bringing something original to the table, it just ended up repeating tropes from literally any other anime. The action aspect of the show was also ruined because of the clunky CGI, and overall, it was a pretty bad show. The next anime on our list is The God of High School. In this anime, top fighters from across the world are fighting in a tournament to get a grand prize of anything they want. Since the anime revolves around fighting, the animation becomes a vital part of it, and unlike the last two anime on our list, this anime did the animation aspect of the show quite well. Not only that, but the choreography of the show was also top-notch. So, where did it all go wrong? The main problem with this show is that it's a 13-episode show, and it keeps introducing new characters without giving adequate screen time or developing any of them. And that's about the only thing I didn't like about this show. But if you're someone who turns a blind eye to this flaw, you might actually enjoy what the show has to offer in its fights and comedy. The next anime on our list is Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of the New World. The original source material of this anime is a light novel. It features a war between two factions, one having magical powers, whereas the other being more technologically advanced. The story is inspired by the classic Shakespearean novel Romeo and Juliet, as the two people from the other side fall in love with each other, because they have many similarities and could understand each other quite well. Initially, this seems like an interesting setup with a lot of potential, but the anime focuses too much on fan service and shiny magical battles to provide entertainment. In my opinion, the anime should have bothered explaining how the two sides were at war for so long without coming to a conclusion. The cultural aspect of the two factions, but it simply doesn't do that, making this anime perhaps not bad, but let's just say that it wasn't able to meet our expectations. The next anime on our list is Noblesse. There were two kinds of people to watch Noblesse. The ones who had read the original source manhwa, and the ones who went in knowing nothing about it. And the anime successfully managed to disappoint the two kinds of viewers for two different reasons. The storytelling was too aggressive and skipped over a lot of things, leaving the new viewers confused, and the fans of the original manga were disappointed because the anime skipped a lot of key points, and removing some of the characters entirely. Like, seriously, how did they make it this bad? Disappointing two different kinds of viewers for two different reasons? That kinda seems like an achievement, man. Seriously. The next anime on our list is The Irregular at Magic High School, or more particularly, its visitor arc. As you may or may not already know, this anime is about humans having acquired the understanding of magic, and the magic high school teaches. Yup, you guessed it. Magic. The main character Tatsuya, despite being an overpowered magic user, gets dumped into the section where the school keeps their hopeless, powerless students because, apparently, the education of this magic school is as stupid as our education system. Anyway, this arc consisted of an American transfer student at their school and involved some mysterious organizations with blurry motives to add a flavor of mystery to the anime. The characters of the show are bland with no depth to them. Take Tatsuya's sister, for example. She still can't do anything aside from appreciating her brother. Now, is that some kind of deep character development that my peasant brain is too stupid to comprehend? The soundtrack doesn't fit the show at all, but maybe if you like the show for the magic and fights, you could find some entertainment in it. Next, we have No Guns Life second season. This anime is about the world in a post-war state where many beings known as extends roam around. What are the extends, you might ask? They're humans who were transformed into deadly weapons to fight in the war. The protagonist Inui Juzo, who is also an extend, takes on cases involving them alongside Mary and Tetsuro. I'm not really the biggest fan of the first season, but the second season was actually kinda better. It had some character development, and we got to know more about Mary and why she's still chasing her past. Tetsuro develops into a more self-confident person, and we even get to know more about Pepper and Seven, the two main antagonists of the series. The series does develop the characters, but the story is still lacking, making it a disappointment, but definitely not bad, in my opinion. Now, personally, I found the setting of the next anime quite interesting, and the anime is none other than Plunderer. In the world of this anime, people have numbers, or rather, counts, engraved on their bodies. The social status and power of people are determined by these counts, and if the count ever reaches 0, the person would die. Long story short, the show is actually about Hina, the protagonist, as she discovers the truth of her world and its mysteries. The show is actually filled with mysteries, which I like, but the answers to them, when revealed, actually seems a bit absurd. The anime has a lot of tropes like a perverted male protagonist and overly sexualized female characters. I don't really mind the tropes that much in characters, but if they don't have anything else going for them, that's when they leave a bad taste. And Plunderer successfully manages to do that. The next anime on our list is The Misfit of Demon King Academy. In the world of this anime, the war between humans and demons has caused widespread chaos. So one day, the Demon King decided, "You know what? I'm tired of this war stuff. I just want to live in peace." So he sacrificed himself to make peace between the humans and the demons in hopes of being resurrected in the future where things are peaceful. However, when he woke up in the distant future, he realized that his past legacy was tarnished and his deeds were falsified. He sets on his journey to discover how that happened. The perfect word to describe this anime is the word absurd. The anime simply can't tell if it's being serious about a Demon King aiming to regain his title, or is it just a parody of the Demon King trying to regain his title?
ファンユニオン、聞こえているか？はい、様。歌え。お前たちの愛を俺によこすがいい。はい。
This core problem ruins just about every other aspect of the show. I mean, if the roots of the tree are bad, you can't really expect the branches and flowers to flourish, right? Similar principle. You might be one of those people who actually enjoys this absurdity, as I've seen some of my friends do, and that's totally fine. And finally, we have Dragon's Dogma. Netflix original anime can be really great, like Violet Evergarden. However, Dragon's Dogma is not one of those anime. The main thing wrong with the anime is the clunky CGI. Come on people, we're living in 2020, and people can't get CGI right? The dialogue in this anime is just pretty bad for an anime that's trying to acquire a dark fantasy label. The deaths in the show just seem like a way to get people into thinking that it's a dark fantasy show, while in reality, the anime only makes a failed attempt at being a dark fantasy. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And with that being said, that concludes our list. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to annihilate that like button, comment your opinion if you disagree with any of mine, and also, subscribe, because I have a lot of viewers who aren't actually subscribed. Like, why do you do that to me, bro? Subscribe and press the bell icon. It'll make viewing my videos much easier. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.